G'day guys, welcome to another video. Now, this video, if you watched yesterday's and I didn't use the washi tape, today I'm using the washi tape. Here we go. Get ready. This is, oh, there's Jen saying hi, eating a nectarine. They're beautiful, by the way, FYI. Now, I'm using the washi tape that I got from Officeworks a few weeks ago, and it's these really bright rainbow colors, and they are, she keeps showing you her nectarine, I apologize. Now, I wanted to use, I didn't want the ends to be square, I wanted them to be like ripped off. So that's what I did, not a problem, did all that, and I'll be completely honest, I overwhelmed myself with the page. There's a lot of colour, there's a lot of stripe, there's a whole lot of, but stick with me, trust the process. This is only a 15-minute and 54-second video. Trust me, stick around to the very end because it works. It is very bright, but it works. So what I actually did was, I did this really quickly in the afternoon, and I knew the photos that I wanted to use, and I know I've used some of these photos, but I specifically took a stack of these color run photos because I knew they're perfect for big, bright, bold layouts. Yes, I could go back to when my kids were younger and they'll match perfectly as well, but yeah. So here I am. Don't think I've lost my marbles. I haven't lost my marbles completely, but I did definitely push the boundaries of pattern and color. That is, that is for sure. So looking at that, so yes, I'm doing the finger tap because I'm like, oh, do I keep going? So I followed my own rule. If you think to yourself, oh, am I on the right path or am I not? Just keep going. Just keep going. Sometimes, sadly, you go too far. Sometimes there's no coming back from it. But I'm really, really glad that I kept pushing because this worked. This come together really, I'm really happy with it. Is it the brightest layout that I probably think I've done in 2022? I think it may be right up there with one of the brightest layouts that I've ever done. I've done some pretty bright layouts this year, but I digress. Now, while we're sitting here having a fit over how much color is on that page, now it's about to flick to the next day. So I put this on the edge and then I went, rightio, let's fold this over the edge and stop. And then I had to get up because I had to go to work, right? Went to work, come home. This is the next day. Notice to the side of me now, I have distress crayons. So I purchased the pack number 1 distress crayons. Never used them before. Had no idea. So I came back to my page. This is the next day. I did walk in and I did think to myself, whoa, what were you thinking? But I followed my own rule. The edges, I couldn't just go around the edges square. So I ripped the tape in half and gave it a jagged edge, and that helped to help me with my border. Now, this is going to sound ridiculous, okay? But one, I have never ever used these distress crayons. Yes, I have gelatos. I have the cheap ones. I have the, shouldn't call them cheap, Faber-Castell ones and the Mont Art ones. These distress crayons are pretty much the same deal. Now I've used them, I'll let you know, they're pretty much the same deal. The only difference is the colors are labeled as per the distress color range, right? So this is me, first time I've ever touched these. And I'm just whacking it down, seeing what happens, see what comes of this. So I added a little bit of water and I just scribbled them onto some plastic. And I'm just sort of having a play. I wasn't going too heavy-handed to start with because, well, there's a lot of colour on here. So I sort of was trying to err on the side of caution. And then I went, you know what? See what happens. Let's just trust the process. So that's what I'm doing. Believe me, it's going to be good. Now, I used the washi tape I got from the kids section in Officeworks. It was like $2.99. And the thinnest strips I've had in my collection from, I have no idea where, forever. We all have that washi. Am I right? Like, we all think we're going to buy the washi, we're going to use the washi, and it's going to be amazing. All we do is end up hoarding meters and meters and meters of washi. And I am going to tell you, it does go off. So if you think you're storing it for a rainy day, pretend there's a thunderstorm, because it goes off. Trust me. So here I am continuing to just, I didn't even swatch these colors before I put them on here. I was trusting the process that they would turn out to be the same as my oxides and my distress inks. When you dilute them, they are not the same color. However, if you do it like that and you color straight onto see, now I've worked out, all right, I've worked these things out. I've played with this medium for a little tiny bit and I'm liking it. So this is where I pull the crayon. Yes, I'm using the right word. Sorry, I've got distress colored watercolor pencils in the same order as the crayons. Whew, it's messing with my head. Okay, don't do that with them. Don't see what I just did then? Don't do that. This is why. Check it out. Here's today's boo-boo on my layout. Don't do it like that. You need to put a lot more color on there to try and get it to mix. It's just too much. So don't squiggle it everywhere. Just do it in a small concentrated area and it looks a lot better. Now I'm using my watercolor brush, my Montmartre watercolor brush, and I think it's number 8. Let me have a look. Yes, number 8. I've killed my brush because I used it with Distress Oxides. Stupid me. But that's okay. I'll buy another one. That being said, this was like therapy. I kid you not. These Distress crayons, they are awesome. They are, they're creamy. They just dissolve and keep, if you do them on the packaging, like you can do the packaging technique, right? That's not a problem. But I want big impact from my colors. When I'm using colors, unless I'm trying to be subdued and maybe using Pink Fresh Studios, you know, something like that, if I'm using a paler paper pack. Other than that, I want bold colors. All right, still trust the process. I fix this. I pull it back from the brink. Imagine at the moment, this layout is, it's a what are those things that jump off? Not gerbils, what are they? Hamsters? Whatever they are. You know, the lemmings, that's them. You know when you lemmings and they all go to the edge of the cliff and then they just all follow the first one off the edge and they just keep jumping? We're a lemming and we're on the edge. This page was sucking the life out of me because it was so incredibly bright. I've got the biggest headache from looking at it under my bright LED lights. But I added some black, so I had a bit of definition. Then I thought to myself, hang on a minute. That muslin stuff that Sue Plum uses. Sue Plum, here's a plug. Go and check her out. She's got a YouTube channel. She's another Aussie. Now, she uses muslin really well. Now, I've watched her a couple of times and I figured it out. I figured out how to use it. Now, what I'm using it for on this particular layout is to not block out the background, but to dull it down a little bit. Take the K out of crazy, you know? I know crazy spelled with a C. Ha ha ha. Here's the shameless plug. There is an affiliate link in my description below to go to Crazy Craft Obsessions. That is where I got my distress crayons from. And if you refer a friend, you and your friend will get a $15 discount. So here I am. Now so you know I've made a mistake when I went up the top and I squiggled, and I fixed that. That's okay. This that I do next, I can't fix it. Now, if you look at my photos, they look fantastic. Yep, great, awesome. So what I wanted was, I didn't want more muslin. I wanted to create a bit more of a paper barrier. This is tracing paper. You can get it from anywhere. This is just the Montmartre tracing paper. I've got a pad of it, and I use it for a vellum look, but dirt cheap. Now, all I'm doing is adding extra little pieces. So I'm not trying to create a perfect border around these photos. I'm trying to allude to the fact that it's different shapes and sizes, right? Now, I'm using my cardboard to lift things up. This is working a treat, guys. I gotta say, I have used Fun Foam forever. No, that's a lie. This year, I've discovered Fun Foam, and it's great, but it's expensive, and I'm not sure how it's gonna stand up over time. I love using the foam from... I've got a couple of foam, like the foam strips that I use, but when I'm doing something solid like this, I've been concerned for a little while that, you know, it might perish or whatever. So the cardboard seems to be working. Can you see now, when you look at the page, it's not as much in your face because I've put the photos on the opposite angle to the way the tape is running. So that's effectively cut the tape in half. Then by putting the muslin, that softens the edges, and then by putting the tracing paper down, that literally gives it that really good border. So it just gives your eye a spot to rest a little bit when you're looking at the layout. So then I was doing my title, and I was just plonking this down because, to be completely honest with you, when this goes on the page, your eye has so much else to look at. Working out if your color run 2022 is perfectly straight is the least of your concerns. So I just went around. These scissors, can I give these a plug? If you don't know what to get your crafty friend for Christmas, get them a set of these. Okay, they don't come in a set, but you can buy them individually. Now, the mini snips are the ones that I'm using at the moment. I have got, disclaimer, I have got rheumatoid arthritis that is really bad in my hands. Some days I can barely move my hands. Now, these scissors both have squishy bits where you put your hand through. That black bit, that's all squishy. So you have the control of the scissors, but it doesn't push on your hands. They're fantastic. Trust me when I say it. They're worth the money. Now, I'm just putting my title down. I raised them up on foam strips. Yes, I do still use some foam. And that is where I started to go, okay, I need to finish this off. I'm going to do some splatters. These may well be my last splatters for 2022. I don't do splatters very well. But it needed some black over all the color. I know. Doesn't that sound mad? There's so much going on. Why did I need to put more on there? And then this is what finishes it off. This is where I say to you guys, a little bit of black pen, a little bit of white pen. Doesn't have to be ridiculous, but look at the difference that just made. And here's the close-ups for you. Thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you leave me a comment. I will be posting a video on Christmas Day for all those people that would like to pop in and say hi and Merry Christmas, and especially those darling people out there that may not have someone to wake up to on Christmas morning. I will have a video loaded up for you, so you can watch that and say hi. Now, this is it. Let me know in the comments below. Did I save it? Did I go too far? Do you think I did well? Let me know below. Like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. And I will be back with you tomorrow with another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Chat to you soon. Bye for now.